Hi, this is Aaron Suttonfield with RDS Lawn Care Services, and I want to talk to you today about how to water your turf grass from March through August. First of all, this irrigation video is for all types of turf that we see in our region. Cool season grass like fescue, warm season grasses like Bermuda and zoysia. This irrigation video applies to those grasses. I want to explain to you too that over 50% of our clients do not have irrigation systems. Those lawns do extremely well, and in some cases those lawns do better than irrigated lawns because irrigated lawns can cause more damage with the irrigation if it's not run properly. And you're going to understand this as we go through this video. So you don't have to have an irrigation system to have a nice lawn. It does help if it's done properly, but it could hurt your lawn if you're not running it properly. So irrigation isn't always needed, and I think you'll understand that as we go through here a little more. So why do we irrigate a lawn in the first place? The simple answer to that is an irrigation system is replacing the evaporation that is lost due to the heat that we experience during these months. And so as the soil loses evaporation naturally, we want to replace that with water. And so all we're trying to do is replace evaporation. We don't want to ever overwater, and in many cases that can be more damaging. And so think about it in terms of replacing evaporation, and that'll tell you how and when to run your system when you understand that. So let's think about that for a second. If it's 70 degrees and we've had a rainstorm on Monday and another one on Thursday, we don't need to replace evaporation in that environment. We have had enough rainfall, and evaporation has not been lost in that lawn. So the system should be off, okay? If you're counter to that, if you're in the middle of July and it's 95 degrees and we haven't had rainfall in 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, we've lost a lot of evaporation. Our plant is going to be entering drought stress. That's when a system is needed, okay? Let me stop real quick and tell you this. You either need to water the lawn regularly, and I'm going to tell you what regularly is, or you don't need to water the lawn at all. We want to see the extreme, because when you water a lawn for a short amount of time, and especially in a stress drought situation, the plant actually enters a mode where it protects itself. It looks like it dies, but it just turns brown, and it's protecting itself, going into a protection mode, and it quits producing and growing to protect the root system, so that when it gets water, it'll come back out of that. So either water regularly, and I'll tell you what that is here in a second, or don't water at all. If you just put a hose out there and you water 1 or 2 times in the summer, when it gets hot and dry, you're probably going to do more damage than good, okay? So please understand that. Let me say this. Mild stress in your yard is healthy for the plant. Let me explain what I mean by that. When your plant goes into a stress mode, and I'm not talking about that 3 or 4 week period of time without rainfall and no irrigation. I'm talking about a week of hot, a little warmer than normal with no rainfall. That's okay for the lawn. You're not going to lose your lawn. In most cases, it takes 40 days of no water for a plant to die. You're going to be fine if you have an irrigation system. So we want to let the plant get into a mild stress situation. The plant goes into a mode of protecting itself there, and the first thing the plant does when that happens is it pushes the roots deeper. The roots start searching for water. Naturally, they push deeper. So your lawn should go into a mild stress situation regularly so that your plant looks for water. Think of it like in terms of your body. If you're trying to build muscle, you go and you push heavy weight, it actually tears your muscle down and your muscle rebuilds stronger. Your plant is the same. If your plant is never tested, if it's never stressed, it's not going to have a deep root system. It's going to need that when it becomes 90 to 95 degrees and to withstand that time frame. So stress is good for the turf, mild stress, okay? Never, ever, ever water every day. Please, if you don't do anything, if you don't hear anything else in this video or understand anything else, do not water daily. That is bad for your turf. All you will do if you water daily is produce a poor root system and enter disease into your lawn. On top of all that, you're going to pay a lot of money for water that you don't need, that is actually hurting you. There is nothing good that comes from watering daily from March to August in the turf. Okay, if you're seeding a lawn or you got sod that's been put down, that turf needs some water on a consistent basis, maybe a little bit every day, but you do not need to water a healthy lawn daily. Please don't do that. So I am recommending that a lawn get 1 inch of water every week. How do you know what 1 inch of water is? I can tell you that every system is going to be different. Every system is going to have to run for a different amount of time to reach 1 inch. The easiest way for you to figure this out is to get some little bowls. Go buy some little plastic bowls or take some out of your house. Put 3 to 5 in the zone, in one of your zones in your yard. Run your system for 30 minutes and measure the water. That will tell you how long your system has to run to reach an average of 1 inch. You'll measure all the bowls and do the average, okay? And so once you have that information, then you will know how long you have to run your system for the duration of that week to achieve 1 inch of water. Turfgrass in our area needs about 1 inch of water every week to survive and thrive without getting too much water. I would like to see you do that in 2 days. Throughout your week. So a Monday and a Thursday, for example, or a Tuesday and a Friday, whatever. You pick the 2 days. But I want you to have at least 2 days between your watering time so that your lawn can dry up. And I want you to water in the early morning. Okay, and so you should not be watering after really 11 o'clock in the morning. You want to be done with your watering, preferably before 9 or 10, but every yard's a little different. The bigger yards are going to take longer. Smaller yards are going to be able to do that, achieve that easier. But I want to see you water deep. Okay, get your 1/2 inch on Monday. Let the lawn soak that water in, and not do another watering until Thursday, for example. Okay, and you do another 1/2 inch at that point. You're going to keep water off the leaf of the plant, which is where most of your fungus comes from. You're going to make your plant go into a little mild stress state between waterings. It's going to search for water. It's going to push roots deeper. And by watering heavy, you're going to push water deeper in the soil as well, which those roots will be able to find that water. One quick thing to know is that when you're watering longer, you may have to water. Let's just use, for example, you determine that to get a 1/2 inch in a particular zone, it takes 30 minutes, okay? So you may want to water that zone for 15 minutes, go to the next zone, water for 15 minutes, and then come back to the zone and finish 15 more minutes to achieve 30 minutes. That's called cycle soaking. Many of your systems allow for cycle soaking, and so you can achieve this deep watering without having runoff. Because if you water the system for 30 or 45 minutes at one time, a zone, you could have water running off and not going into your soil, especially if you have a slope, a hill, hard soils, those types of things. So to achieve that deep watering, you may have to water, through the whole system for half of the time on Monday, from maybe from 4 in the morning to 6 in the morning, you water half the system, and then you run it again from 6 to 8 to achieve the other half that you need. Okay, so again, 1 inch of water for the whole week, a 1/2 inch on Monday, a 1/2 inch on Thursday. You pick the 2 days, but give me some time between those waterings, at least 2 days, where the ground can dry up a little bit and your plant gets into a little mild stress situation. Your plants will be healthier, you'll have less disease, you'll have a deeper root system, and you'll save money on your irrigation system. So, hope that helps you understand a little bit more about watering, how to water. I will tell you, you're probably realizing at this point that you can no longer set your system in May and forget about it until September. It's not that type of system. It never was, and it never should have been. But I can tell you that the majority of my clients with irrigation systems do that. And I see more damage and more issues in those lawns than I do in lawns without irrigation systems. So sorry to deliver some bad news. I hope I'm delivering some information that's helpful to you as you manage your system and you manage your lawn. With anything that we do for you, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you and guide you through this, and answer any questions you may have as you're trying to manage your system. Again, we thank you for watching this. I'm sorry it was so long, but it is a lot of information about how to properly care for your lawn this summer with watering. Thank you so much. Have a great week.